the final hots and nots of what a year it's been. 2024 in the motorsport world. We've had highs, lows, and lots of mediums. I'm going to start with a hot to the viewers of Grid Tonight for the year. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved with comments, all your social media interactions. We bust through the 1,500 subscriber mark earlier on in the year in the spring. We're on the way to 2,000, as we say at the end of every show. Hopefully, we can get there next year. So just a hot, obviously, is thank you, everybody, for getting involved in all the things that we do for you.
I'm with you on that 110%. What a fantastic year. And it's been up and down, hasn't it, for me a lot? But I'm thankful that there's been more ups than downs. I'd say there's been, two big downs for me this year. And you guys have supported me brilliantly through those as well. And I've loved every minute of it. And we've gone to new heights this year, I feel. So I think working with you a lot and the viewers at home, that is always going to be the biggest hot. I suppose you've left me bringing me back to racing now, haven't you? Well, which series has been the hottest? As we get Matthew Owens. Hello, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Hello, Matthew. Are you okay? Oh, which is? Can I give a few? Yes, go on. I'll hand back to Matt now.
Yes, we did this. Myself and Matthew watched the Snowball Derby for the first time. I've watched the Snowball Derby for a couple of weeks ago. It was, but we watched it on Saturday night together. Really good race, really, really cool. Different for me. It was a NASCAR race, but it wasn't sort of thing. It was cool. So that was very good. So that was very enjoyable. Hot from this week from the news that Kobe didn't get to, which I saw and went, wow, really? This year's Supercars Championship, it came down between Will Brown and Brock Feeney at Red Bull, but in the background, just behind them and giving them a good run was Chaz Mostert in Supercars. In the GT World Challenge Australia Championship, Chaz Mostert and Will Brown fought for the championship. At Bathurst in February for the 12-hour, those two are together in a Ferrari with Daniel Serra, factory Ferrari driver. Goodness me, that's a good lineup. We talked about Van Gisbergen and Scotty Konozilic in the Corvette for Daytona, but Serra, Brown, and Mostert together at the mountain on my birthday. Let's not.
That is a present,
is very, very cool. That there's been a few more Bathurst announcements over the last couple of weeks. There'll be more as we get into January, but that we talked about. You talked about earlier. Rolex, big like early doors. The week after, a lot of those guys are going straight to Australia. They're going to fly down there and do the 12-hour as well, which is just one of the best races of the year also. So that's my hot. Brown and Mostert, not banging doors, but one getting out of a door and the other one getting in the Arise Ferrari at the mountain along with Daniel Serra. Very, very good lineup.
I love that one the week after. I wonder if we're covering that as well. If I can, wake up and have my sleep schedule organized a bit more. Ultimate hot then from this year.
Ultimate.
It's really hard. It's been such a good year. When we didn't expect it, did we? Because we sort of all came in and gone, oh, NASCAR will be good. We'll wonder what that could have. IndyCar, so. We thought the hybrids will ruin it. Kind of did, didn't they? And then the seatbelt ruined it. I think, and this will be weird that I'm going to say this, but I think my ultimate hot of the year is going to come from IndyCar, and it's going to come from the Indy 500 because we were made to wait for it so many hours. We were about 5-6 hours waiting, track dried out. Yeah. And did we have a red flag that year? We did. We had a red flag. And we restarted with a few to go. And Newgarden going round the outside to win it, back to back, was perfect. I think that was this year. I've not just made that up. It was good because they all blowed up. I think that to me would be my ultimate hot this year because we commentate on races where week in, week out, oh yeah, you can win that one. It's an easy race. Yeah, of course you're going to win it. Do you know what I mean? But to win the Indianapolis 500 back to back, that takes skill. And I'll say now, I don't think he was in the fastest car throughout that weekend. He had that entire 2 weeks. He was up and down so much, but he did what Ericsson did in 22. He had the most practice time. He'd used it to his advantage. He knew everything. And I think Lee Diffie did it brilliantly as well. He's been there already on the last lap pressure. He knows what to do. So I think that's my moment of the year, just how good it was. Personal moment, though. Watching from a hospital bed, U3 host the show and being high as a kite and trying to type one-handed. That was with a candle in the other. That's my funniest moment of the year because I was surrounded in a hospital room, hooked up to antibiotics, mouth sewn shut, and I was watching you guys, and it was fantastic fun, and it was brilliant. Killed me. I wasn't there.
We melded made do while you were away, Josh. So we got through.
And not give me next year. I'm here.
Well, let's hope not. Quick comment from Matthew Owens says not just about all the NASCAR IndyCar clashes, even when they're both on Fox and FS1 is pretty rough. Yeah, that not good. Just a lot of that could have been avoided. Adam says hot. Daytona and Bathurst, as we just mentioned, and wishing everyone a happy festivalmas or whatever people call it when they don't want to say Christmas over the next week or so, because this time next week it'll all be done and over with, and I can already start planning to take my tree down. I think my ultimate hot for the year, if I had to pick one thing, and let's not forget for regular viewers, I'm still watching stuff from August. I'll get August finished for the end of December. That's my plan over the next week and a half. I think it's probably going to be F1. And that's a strange thing to say.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much not about F1, and we'll get to that probably in a moment. But I don't think we expected to have the battle that in the second half of the year that we did have between the fading Red Bulls, the intermittently quite good Mercedes decent on a good weekend Ferrari, and generally all-rounders McLaren.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just, apart from all the off-track stuff, which we've talked about a lot on the show, whether it be Red Bull implosions in behind the scenes, FIA stuff, which we went into detail on a couple of weeks ago, and just Max being Max when he's got his mouth open. The on-track stuff was really good, and I didn't expect Formula One to be as good as it's been this year. Shame it couldn't quite go all the way with the championship to the end, but I think bodes well for next season. Really, and why are we having this damn regulation change?
Oh, I know. The positive is it looks good.
The unexpected Formula One title battle was my hot of the year.
Right, ultimate not.
Adam says his hot was SVG. Seeing SVG compete in person for the first time, which yes, I've done. What have I done that twice, 3 times? Although the first time he didn't get in the car at Spa before someone else crashed it at the top of Eau Rouge, and he didn't get to do a lap in the race, which was not good.
It's really hard to think of it. Yeah, I can't say Dorna because they're being nice at the moment.
Yeah, no. Maybe this time last year, perhaps.
Yeah, last year. They gave it their all at the beginning of the year, but then we got people in the know, and they sort of shut up now for a bit.
Thanks to the Paxtons for that.
Yeah. Oh. To be honest, that was funny with Maddie. By the way, Sekhmet Racing, I don't know what she's planning, but if you've seen the entry list that there's no Sekhmet Racing, you might notice that there's an MKD Racing. That's Mallory's initials.
Championship list. I haven't seen that. I saw Supersport and Superbike, but not the WCR one.
Yeah, you might notice that. Well, Mallory's back, and there's an MKD Racing team. That's her initials, and then Julie Hanks Elliott is back, and that's her initials for Hanks Racing. I'm not sure on that, but I think she's behind the scenes pulling the strings, and it's not called Sekhmet for a year. But she's up to something in May, so it's something going on. Ultimate not. Did we have a weekend where it was just negative? I feel like we didn't. I'm gonna have a look at the F1 schedule. I think we had to go in Austria, didn't we?
We go in Austria, Brazil, with all the rain delays.
I've got it.
Everything else. Go on.
My ultimate not of the year is Mohammed Ben Sulayem.
Has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, has to be. I've gone on about him so much this year. That's my ultimate not. The way he's treated everybody in the FIA, and he's, by the way, to update you on this, the FIA have now passed that measure, which has removed the ethics committee. So any complaints about the FIA president will now be dealt with by the FIA president. So great.
Don't call it a dictatorship.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Putin in charge, to be fair. I think when he was with Bernie, I think that was just about on, as much as we could take. Now we've gone full dictator. So I'm not entirely happy about that. There's going to be more about that when we come back in the new year. I know there is, because there's things brewing behind the scenes from the FIA that are going to get released. But yeah, just what was it? It's ended up now being 18 personnel has left under his rule. That's been going on a couple of years. And there's been, 15 this year alone. Terrible year. That's my ultimate not.
As you've taken that, which I absolutely agree with, I wasn't going to go with it, but then you said it, and I was like, of course.
Yeah.
I think I'm just sick of clashes. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know we have the Olympic break, of course, this year, for a lot of championships having to work around the Olympics for their television stuff with IndyCar. NASCAR, obviously. Formula One, it was in their summer break, so it didn't affect them at all. I think we had Spa on the first weekend of the games, which...
Yeah, it wasn't it?
And then we had MotoGP in the middle of it at Silverstone. But I'm just tired. And Matthew made the point before, and we took IndyCar and NASCAR 9 clashes in terms of there being on at the same time. I just don't think that's going to work for Fox. Frankly, you're still not going to get people go A or B. The Mr. Burns ketchup or catsup bottles thing. They're going to go with NASCAR every time if you give them a choice at the moment. But yeah, I don't really have a proper ranty not, because I think I'm out of rants for the year, honestly. But I'm just a bit tired of all the clashing going on. People need to look at before they release their calendars, look at the other calendars and go, they're on there. Well, we can't go against them.
Yes, MotoGP's British Grand Prix on the same day as the Monaco Grand Prix and the Indy 500.
And it's the last Sunday of the Premier League that weekend as well. And there's a high chance that might come down to the last match. So
I'll be running around like a Christmas tree that day.
End of May. And also a quick not that I just remembered, not an ultimate not, but not that I remembered. So British Superbike not going to Silverstone again. They didn't go this year. They're not going again to Silverstone next year. And now that the TCR UK Championship is not going to Silverstone next year either, and it's going to be with the TCR Europe Championship at Spa.
Something's going on, isn't it, with Silverstone?
Something's going on at Silverstone.
And
they had no motorcycle track days all this year at all. The only motorcycle event at Silverstone all year in 2024 was the MotoGP race weekend. Nothing else.
Yeah, the fans don't like it at Silverstone either, do they? They want it back at Donington.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's too unsafe.
No, and the pit lane's too small. And
yes, it is. Okay, just to that. 4 times I've been at that track this year.
Hopefully, we'll be at Silverstone in September. We need to get working on that one after New Year for ELMS. We have the Grid Network UK outing, but there's something going on at Silverstone. Just something to be aware of, because if the big not TCR's UK is not massive, but if BSB isn't going to the best, biggest, as I knocked some Christmas presents over, track in the country, there's something going on there.
I've got a Christmas present coming up. That's 2 time microphones, so we're good for that, Matthew. We're good for that.
Oh, very good.
And
good.
also, let's see if we can get a comms box and we'll do the commentary as well. Let's see if we can do that.
Let's not push our luck, but okay.
Well, they've got a tiny one. We can do it.
Quick last one from Matthew, who says, I'm just thrilled with all the coverage we had this year and the racing we were rewarded with. Atlanta, Daytona, Kansas, Indy 500, Miami. I guess he means Homestead by that. Watkins, Glen, Martinsville could go on. Such a great year. NASCAR this year has been tremendous. Really, really good. I know there's been people with the playoffs and but that actually on-track stuff, apart from the Austin Dillon thing at Richmond, which is a sour note on here, it just has been really good. And let's hope we get more of that in all the championships next year. I think we mentioned it on the end of the show last year that we were excited for this happening in this championship, that happening in this.
So much.
Got a couple of weeks off, and then we're really back into it again once we get to the Rolex. Really, as you said before, is the kickoff for everything for the year. Really.
Found a bit of breaking news that's happened during our show tonight as well. February the 19th is when Ferrari will launch their Formula One car for 2025. Fred Vasseur promising it's a 99% new car. Why bother in the last year of a regulation change?
I know. Get to see Lewis in red for the first time then on February 19th. Set your date. Set your calendars. Set your reminders now.
It's going to be fun, that. And as you've gathered, this is our final show of the year. I've been given the honour to round us out for the season. Grid Tonight will be back on the air on Wednesday, January the 8th to kick off our 2025 season of motorsport coverage. Please continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for helping us reach the 1,500 subscribers milestone as well. Now we're very much well on the way to 2,000. You can hit the bell icon to get notifications when we go on the air, and you can follow all of our social media platforms and visit our website, gridnetworktv.com. On Monday, the December 30th, you can be there as well for a full recap of the 2024 grid ranking to end the year. You can take 5 minutes to invest in the Grid Network through our Patreon. You can join Colin, Mark, Deshelle, Robin, David, and Matthew, who invest each month in the Grid Network. And we do encourage you to join these fine folks who help us keep us on the air. And once we hit $500 per month, we can start sending our team to the track to cover more races and continue expanding our coverage. Link to all of that is in the video description. You might have heard Matt talk about me and him going to Silverstone for the European Le Mans series as well. So fingers crossed we can do that as well next year. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can click on the Buy Me a Coffee link and you get your name on the board and invest as much as you want, and consider buying a specific on-air personality a cup of coffee and they will thank you on the air. Adam says, enjoyed all the episodes this year of Grid Tonight. Boys, it has been an absolute pleasure. We've got something special here. Long may it continue in 2025. Kobe, thank you for your hard work behind the scenes. Matt, thank you for everything you do as well, with stepping in the breach so many times as well throughout the year. It has been absolutely fantastic as well. My thanks also to Ben and Joe and Jackson, who stepped in when I've been unavailable due to medical grounds as well. You guys have been stars. And a special thanks as well to Matthew Owens, who've joined us throughout the year as well, replacing Matt when he's been busy as well. Now, for Kobe Lambeth and Matt White from Grid Endurance Performance Index, I'm Joshua Burch from JB Motorsports. Thank you so much for watching Grid Network's motorsport coverage throughout the 2024 season. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in 2025. Goodbye.